I didn't understand. Oh, okay. I didn't understand nothing you said.
I want you to do that.
Why was it? Why did you call her? Called her? Oh, that's the same. She wanted to know that question also. She wanted to know. She said she was going to disconnect. She said, that person. Don't go. Finish your question. Repeat.
What I was saying is that they have people that come and go. You see, he's seeing people that come and go. So, are they really coming there to seek knowledge, or are they coming there just for a show up, just to come away? I mean, get away from what y'all call Babylon. But now, I have questions like, are you guys into the Bible, or is this something?
We'll answer one question at a time. So I got you on that question. So pretty much you're asking the people that come here that seeking knowledge. Basically, you saying like, why do people leave? Is that pretty much what you're asking?
No, I'm saying, did you guys ever find out if they're coming just for a show? Can you tell if it's just for show or just to try to get
Eventually, what happens, because this environment is so pure and everybody here is so focused, anybody that comes here for anything outside of that, like a relationship, like a Babylon relationship, or they come in here for what they want, the scoop, they just want to realize what's going on, it's always exposed. Anything that comes here that is hidden, or if somebody doesn't have a pure heart, it's always going to be brought to the, what's it called, the surface. It's always going to be brought to the light. It's always going to be exposed.
Okay, cool. All right. What about the Bible? Are some of the things that you guys are talking about coming from the Bible? I am not into the Bible like most people say. It's just something about it. Some of it doesn't seem right. So I'm not knocking people it's not that I don't believe, but I'm not saying I do believe. I'm just like, I'm stuck in the middle. So some things, if it seems like it's right, I just go with it. Not saying that I'm a follower, but sometimes it just seems like it's the right thing to do. So, what do you call him, chief or prophet? I'm not sure, but is he quoting things from the Bible, or is this knowledge that he's been seeking on his own?
Look, you got to acknowledge where the information where the Bible got its information from. When you read these texts that were given to us by our oppressor, right? You got to understand that it has been edited. So you're right. You don't really want to believe everything exactly how it is, especially because most people interpret it as if it was like actual history, as if it's like reading a fairy tale and saying it really happened. You know what I'm saying? There's morals and principles there, and more than anything, it's a science book. So what you have to do is you have to get the melanated man, the one who put the information out there in the first place, and have them interpret what it's actually trying to tell you. There's a lot of discernment that is required. There's a lot of truth in these texts. There's a lot of truth in the Bible. There's a lot of truth in all of these texts. But you don't want to just believe it, especially the way that it's been given to you. There's a lot more to it. So we're looking at morals and principles. We're looking at the story of the Christ and how it's not just about a man named Jesus. You're going to have people talking about Jesus is king and thinking like, oh, well, this is turning into idol worship. We're not talking about a character. We're talking about a consciousness, the Christ consciousness. And we could break down the Christ consciousness and what that means through the 5 sciences that we teach. Like, people, go ahead and ask your pastor. Ask whoever your pastors or whoever people are running the church, what is the kingdom of God? They will be able to tell you what the kingdom of God is. Through the 5 sciences, we've been able to figure out what that was. Kingdom of God is within you. It's the kingdom of you, for real. It's actually, the kingdom of God is within you. So it's really knowledge of self, knowing who you are. And you can figure this out through the 5 sciences. You got to be careful, though, because people will tell you, don't look at science. That's how you know this is that Christ. Okay. How you believe in Jesus. He's separate from you. Jesus the Christ is separate from you. You are not God. I love you, God. Jesus, I love you, God. Okay. God, like that's a lie. That's the Antichrist. So discernment for real. This is for every text. This is for every religious text. Understand that religion is trying to teach you spiritual. What they confuse is religion, which is like politics, and spirituality confused. But spirituality is basically the study of energy and how energy flows.
Right.
So what you should be doing is studying nature, because nature is going to show you how energy flows in the universe, how things work. And the study of nature is science. Simple as that.
Okay. Well, that's what's up. I have one more question, and I'm gonna let you guys go. Your families. I don't know who has kids there, or if you have kids. How was it for you to just leave? If any one of you guys have kids, I just want to know, how did it feel when you guys just decided to say, I'm going by myself. I want to take care of you. And with your family, how do you guys handle that?
All right, so for me, all right, let me tell you this. First off, every decision that we make is based on our knowledge. I'm gonna say that first and foremost. Every decision that we make, we strive to make the most objective decisions. So that means that aside from the emotion. Now, I will say, obviously, it's going to be different, I believe. It's going to be a little easier maybe for the men because we're a little more detached. But at the end of the day, I'll say this, because I had 2 children in Babylon. I had a baby girl, I had a boy. And for me, it was like, I tried everything I could to take them along with me. It wasn't like I just got the knowledge to teach something. Leave your kids. You can't have kids, just leave them. You know what I'm saying? That's not what the most honorable prophet of the leader of Christ says at all. What he says is anything that hinders you from entering into the kingdom, you must cut it off. Because it's better to enter in the kingdom missing a hand than to burn in hell with both my hands. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, let my kids go was like cut my arm off. You feel what I'm saying? And I tried everything I could to work in politics with the mother to get her onto this frequency, but you can't raise somebody's vibration further. You're either chosen or you're not. You either get it or you don't. So for me, it became a test. Because you have to hold the frequency and the knowledge, know that you're God and that this is the game. So when I'm realizing, like, okay, I'm God, this is a reality, this is now becoming a stumbling block. So even though these kids look like me, even though I want to love them, I want to take care of them, I want to be there for them, at the end of the day, if I hold on to this attachment, it's going to keep me in Babylon. It's going to keep me in an environment where there's chemtrails, where, you know what I'm saying? It's going to keep me in that situation, and I won't be able to truly free myself. So if I really love myself, if I say I love my kids, then what I'll do is I'll save myself first. Hopefully that one day I'll provide a safe haven or something that they can come to, something they can see, oh, I see what my father represented, versus it just being something like, oh, one of them fathers that's like, oh yeah, I knew about that knowledge, you know, I could have did it, but he got stuck up working a job and doing the Babylon thing. No, I didn't want that to be me. I told myself, you know what, I'm not going to let anything stop me. I'm going to do what I know is the right thing. I'm not going to give my energies to the system. I'm not going to be a battery to the Babylon system. Because at the end of the day, I got to take it down for me. When I die, when I transition, it's going to be for me. I'm going to be held accountable for what I did, not nobody else. So I had to take that into consideration. This is all about securing your soul. That's the end game. I kept in mind the end game. I looked at the knowledge that the most honorable prophet of the leader of Christ gave me. And I said, you know what, even though this is going to be a hard decision, this is going to be the best decision. And so I'm going to have to make that.
Okay.
I want to say something to you before you go, all right?
Okay.
So it's like we gotta exercise common sense, and we gotta exercise the ability to explain things in a simple form. Just because something complicated doesn't mean that it's more intelligent or that it's something that is of greater value. When it comes to your children, your children, right? Everybody likes to throw up, but what about your children? Okay. Well, which one would you think would be more valuable to your children? A nation or a 401k plan?
Right.
Which one would you rather put forth energy towards giving your children? A legacy that's going to keep going after generation and generation and generation and generation. Because if you look at black people underneath the European system, the only thing our generations are doing are producing more ignorance, more ignorance, more ignorance. The generation today is the most ignorant generation because they're in the midst of all of the knowledge, and look at what they're doing.
I agree.
What our legacy, being in Babylon, trying to make it in that system, has produced. Single mothers equal retarded children. Men locked in prison equal retarded children. We're not building nothing by trying to hide behind these bank accounts and these buildings and these college degrees. When that system falls, everything that you try to build for your children will fall along with. So why store up our treasures in a system that we know is designed to fail? That's what I'm saying. Security.
That's a lot. Well, I appreciate you guys answering my questions. I was just wondering, and I'm gonna continue to keep watching you guys, and I'm gonna stay. You know, who knows? I might be trying to transition or something. Never know, but I appreciate it.
That's a fact. All right, what's up?
All right.
Are you doing it? Keep your lowers in there. Keep your low. Okay, get that dude at the top. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He might make it interesting.
I'm back. What's up, brothers?
Oh, from yesterday. Okay.
Yeah. What's going on? Peace and love. Peace and love.
Hey, look, I cut you off. I think did I cut you off, or did we go all the way through last time?
Nah, we went through when
I
yeah.
understand that I'm done when it came to the homosexuality portion. You was like, okay, I'm cool on that. But now I guess you want to go back into that, or you have another point?
Nah, y'all said that all men have a G-spot, right? And they ain't them?
Yeah. That's to get people to understand that two men having sex is not something that's based on like blasphemy or an abomination. Nature has specifically designed a pleasure zone in that area for men who are bisexual. That's it.
But you don't agree that you don't agree that's where that's where your waist come from, right?
No, see the thing is, right? The only reason that you look at it as waste is because of what you're putting into your body. What comes out of your anus is waste. What comes out of a natural organic body is something that is soil. Because how is it waste? When you say waste, that means that what you're referring to no longer has any value in this form. But because it is it's to be recycled, it's for the trees, it's for me to give back to what I take from the earth. How can it be called waste when it has a function that goes on after it leaves my body? Right.
Okay.
But once it came out of my body, it would have no other function. It would have no other purpose, and therefore it would be waste. But you clearly know that the earth breaks down our soil and reproduces, turns it back into fruit if it's a fruit tree. You know, grass grows if it's grass. But when you have something that's destroyed and tainted in GMO, then that would be considered waste as far as Babylon is concerned.
Okay. So y'all agree that it's okay for a man to deal with a man, pretty much. So be clear on that, right? That's fine. Okay. Let me ask y'all one more question, because I know y'all got a lot of people. I heard y'all talking about a lot of spirit, dealing with spirit, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between spirit and soul?
That's a good question. Beautiful question, Mike. So, you want to go?
Yeah, go ahead. A soul is what you are. Soul is the sun. You are a soul. You are a part of the sun, right? Spirits are thoughts. Spirits are really just thoughts. So as a soul, you are a collection of spirits. You are a collection of thoughts. You are a collection of many, many different thoughts, which makes up your soul. So your spirit is nothing more than energy. God is energy. So thoughts are also energy. So when you're saying what's the difference between a soul and a spirit, you gotta acknowledge that the soul, everybody's a solar system. I am a person. You see, these are all different persons. These are all souls. They're different souls. And we all have different, when you take on a thought, a certain thought, right? This is the gas form. This is like light. This is energy. And you take on a thought, you hold on to that thought, you focus on that thought, right? Then you vibrate at the frequency of that thought. This is when you say, oh, you've been possessed with a spirit. Because you have a certain spirit, it's a certain thought that you're playing out through your soul. Through your soul. So your soul is what you are. You are the walking, talking sun. Your bone, blood, and breath. Soul, sun. That's what you are. We're all different persons. A spirit is nothing more than a thought. And the more energy you put, the more you focus on certain thoughts, the more you focus on a certain spirit, then the more you begin to embody that and play that out. So you'll walk in the room or you'll talk to somebody and be like, oh, that's a demon. I'm not telling that person that they are a demon. I'm telling them the spirit that they're playing out, their behaviors, their thoughts, the spirit that they have in that moment is a demon. And that's a certain frequency of thought. So there's different frequencies of thought. They're either closer to truth or closer into an illusion. However, you are a soul. A soul is a collection of spirits. That's what you are.
Okay. Cool. So y'all believe that y'all say y'all believe into the Christian thing, right? The Bible, right?
Yeah, the Christ consciousness.
Right. The Christ consciousness.
Confused with Jesus.
Right.
No, I understand that. I heard you talk about that on the last one. Okay, we good on that now. Y'all do know that you know what Christ derives from, right? You know it's like the Christian come from the Christian brothers, right?
I get what you're trying to say. You're trying to say as far as it goes in the context as it relates to the European.
Yeah.
But we're trying to tell you that prior to the Europeans' involvement with creating the Bible, that story already existed from Kemet in Egypt as far as it was related to sun worship.
It's all about the sun. It's all about the sun. Even the Christ, what you're talking about right now, that's talking about the sun. This is the return of the Christ. This is the return of the Christ consciousness. It's a certain frequency of thoughts being put out by the sun right now. And this is what it looks like. This is what the Christ looks like. That book that you're reading, that everybody thinks that everybody is, waiting for something to fall out the sky magically. This is what it looks like. This is what the Christ consciousness looks like. People who are awoke, who understand I am everything and everything is me. People going around, disciples going around, teaching, proclaiming the kingdom, telling you, hey, did you know that you're God? Wake up. Did you know that you are in control of your own reality? This is what the Christ looks like. This has happened time after time. It's really nothing new. This story it's not literal. So don't worry about no European Christ brothers or any of these gods. This story's been told 1,000,000 times over, and it was really taken from melanated people anyway. They're the ones who interpreted it in the first place. All information is coming from DNA.
Right.
So, yeah, don't get too caught up in that. Just understand that it's a consciousness, it's a frequency of thought, and Christ consciousness is all the way in the truth. We are completely based in the truth. This is what it looks like. From our hair, even our hair.
Okay.
You tell somebody's frequency based on how they hair, like how they treat their own body, what they eat, their behaviors, what they do, who they surround themselves with.
So y'all pretty much religious. Got like y'all religious, pretty much, right?
Not in a traditional European standpoint that you may be coming from.
No. I don't say we religious. I say, if anything, we're spiritual. Black people, African Americans, do not have any spiritual teachers. The Honorable Prophet, Ezekiel Christ, is the only spiritual teacher that we have. He's the only spiritual teacher. All these other spiritual teachers, what are they really leading you to? They're actually making you better batteries for the European system. They're actually telling you just enough to go back to work. They're just motivational talkers for real. They're false prophets more than anything. You got people like Young Pharaoh who whatnot have knowledge, but they don't give you anything because they just want to make that money off of you. They just want to make that money. Even Farrakhan, even the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam, they actually used to have a movement, but not anymore. Now they just talk. They just meet up and talk about making money, talk about doing the same thing the European is doing, and they're really not leading you anywhere. What we are doing is an actual movement. It's hard to follow us. A lot of people don't want to follow us because it requires action. It requires a movement. You can't just watch us. This is why we have so many haters, because niggas is convicted. You can't just watch us and be like, oh, that's that. No, people got to find excuses and reasons to not do what we're saying, to not do what we're doing. They feel like they can't do what we're doing, from attachments to whatever they got going on. Usually it's attachments. Money, they think they got to run that business. They think, most people don't know that they're the only thing in existence, which is why these 5 sciences are so important, because all there is everything is a projection of your soul. Remember how we spoke about that? You can really, if you look at your natal chart, this is why natal charts are important, because you are the sun. You will see every person around you, everything that you're going through is a part of your program.
Right.
Everything that you're experiencing is actually a projection of your own mind. So we are actually an aspect to you. It's just what you do that really matters. You know what I'm saying? It's not about what you have in front of you, but what you do with what you have.
I got something to say too. To make an easier distinction as well, because I know you said the religious thing. The easiest way to make that distinction is like, you see like these so-called religious teachers, right? Just ask them why they do what they do, and let them give you like a logical answer. So why ask these Buddhist people why they cut their hair? You think what I'm saying? Like ask why they do what they do.
I know for me, just knowing thyself, I know that religion creates division. So I really don't, indulge in different religions, because at the end of the day, it's all the same. Everything is all in peace. Ain't neither one of them books telling you to go out and harm nobody or nothing like that. So at the end of the day, keep people in bondage because it keep people waiting and idolizing something. Like you said, because y'all say that we are the son, we are the God, which means you are individually, we are the independent gods. I just don't understand how could y'all look at another man on earth that's walking just like you and think that he can receive more messages than what you can, make him more close to God.
You did answer your own question, but it's like you don't understand it because a part of you is having trouble realizing that you are everything. Because if you really could realize Christ thinking that that's me, right? And you see another person, another version of yourself that sparked you and made you better, why would you have a problem honoring yourself in that form?
It's you. That's you. That's your reflection. It's a reflection of you. To honor another man, to honor you, is to honor myself. What was the most important commandments? To honor thy God, love thy God with all your heart. What's the second one? Just as important as the first is to love your brothers and sisters, your neighbors, honor your neighbor the same way, because they are God. He is God just as much as I am. So if he's a projection of my mind, doesn't that mean that he's me?
No separation.
So what he knows, why would I not utilize that? Everything that we're going through, we put it online. We put this online. Go ahead.
And the only thing that's stopping you too is like people. I've seen somebody say ego, but anyway, just spark me. It's like people say, "Oh, get your ego out of the way." Like the thing that's stopping you from honoring another version of yourself would be pride. Would be pride. But what you want to happen is you want to have an expansion of your ego, which is your sense of self. So you want to be able to have your mind expanded to the point where you can really realize, yo, that's me, I honor this. How you going to get a piece of fruit from a tree and you honor that tree, but you get knowledge from another man, as y'all like to say, but you can't honor that version of yourself?
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
What's the problem with that?
You dig what I'm saying?
I just want to introduce another perspective, because what the Most Honorable Prophet and Leader of Christ is doing is exposing the level of self-hatred amongst African Americans, right? Because the thing is, when black people are given a certain status, it convicts us based upon how we feel about ourselves. If I said that somebody was my coach, niggas be cool. If I said that this was my mentor, people be cool. If I said that this was anything other than my higher self and my Messiah, it's okay. But when you put a black man who is subconsciously introduced as a thug, a gangster, an enemy, a threat, it makes people look at this as if, oh, you must be crazy. Because my program leads me to understand that someone who looks like the Most Honorable Prophet and Leader of Christ belongs in jail as an entertainer, a basketball player. Who does this Negro think he is to be a Messiah? This literally goes against the program of African Americans, because we have been conditioned to keep ourselves and our significance to a bare minimum within the European agenda. As long as you dribbling the ball, you good. As long as you running, you good. As long as you wearing these suits and typing on a computer, you good. But don't you ever think that you can have the audacity to exalt yourself to the position of Messiah. And all that is exposing self-hatred. The comments is self-hatred. It's all spewing out. While we trying to walk around like we so classy and educated, we hate everything about us. And the Most Honorable Prophet and Leader of Christ is doing the most amazing job exposing this, so we can heal through it and stop living in the illusion. That's one thing I want to add to that too.
What's up, bro?
Yep. So I just had one thing I want to add to that too, because we have to understand that the Most Honorable Prophet, Leader of Christ, is someone that has been ordained. Just like you have a professor or you have a dean of a school who's been ordained a certain amount of power or certain knowledge that they teach. This is exactly what's going on right now. And that, like you said, so a lot of people can't accept that. Can't accept it when it comes to a dark melanated man. He's been ordained through his astrological program to be able to understand certain things. Just like melanated people have the ability to interpret nature because of our melanin and our ability to connect to nature and be able to interpret it for what it truly is.
chief, the most honorable prophet, Leo Christ, is someone who's actually able to do that. A lot of people don't have the right perception or the right interpretation of what nature truly is. That's why we take and utilize pieces and parts of the Bible. We'll take stuff, the 5 sciences, and we'll utilize that as an art in order for us to be able to paint a picture of what reality truly is. That's why you see all this information scattered across the internet, because you have people with a lower level of intelligence trying to articulate something divine. You have to have a divine being that portals in, that is literally designed or programmed to be able to understand and bring forth the truth. Just like you have certain information that other people may not have, and you have to be the bearer, you have to be the keeper of that to be able to express that to people for people to understand. And that's what's happening right now. A lot of people can't accept that. But if it was a position where someone was in a school and they were teaching science class, or if it was physics, it would be a lot more easier to digest. But this just happens to be real life. And we have a prophet here who's coming to bring a message that's stronger and holds more weight than anyone out there. Packs harder punch than anyone out there, because it requires you to change. And it makes you look at yourself and think upon yourself, think about life, think about reality. So that's really what it is, man. Like, you have to understand what the most honorable prophet chief bringing to the table. No one's bringing. Farrakhan ain't doing shit. Bobby Hemmett ain't doing shit. Dick Gregory ain't doing nothing. I think he transformed. No one's doing anything. You know what I'm saying? What kind of legacy? You know what I'm saying? What legacy are people leaving? That's what it comes down to. Is your legacy. It's like, peace out. We're not doing nothing, jack. And then we got all these people that are caught up in the system and they don't have a sense of direction. And that's why you need the most honorable prophet, Christ, because he's giving you a sense of direction. He's giving you purpose. He's putting that battery in your back, not for Babylon, but for nature, and understanding who you are and enter your own kingdom of heaven. That's what it's all about, brother.
Okay. I got you, brother. Well, I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. Peace and love, brother.
That's right. I love myself.
Right. Just like anybody else, they get this knowledge. You gotta do something about it now. Now you know better.
No debate.
Now you know better.
7 is all around.
I love myself.
It's good, bro.
How are you guys doing? I'm writing right now, so while everybody's talking, I'm just brainstorming and stuff. How are you guys feeling?
Good.
I'm feeling good. I was just these past couple days, I've been like planning my music, because I do music. I've spoken with how do you guys refer to, how do you say the honorable elite?
The honorable
The honorable Leo prophet.
Most honorable.
Most honorable
Prophet Leo Christ.
My fault, guys. I didn't expect you guys to just call. I was like, I'm releasing an album at the end of this month, and these past couple days, I've just been getting this voice in my head just saying, "Let go, patience," and I just like, let go what? And I've been letting go a lot. But and especially releasing this music, I feel like I'm giving, how you fucking say it, bro? I'm giving myself that push in the sense that once I release my music, I can start moving everywhere and get this residual income. Not start,
Put it out for free. That's not what we teach.
And I've been following Eligio for like a minute now. I've seen the whole drama. Free TV.
You been following who?
Huh? I've been following Carbonation for a while now. And I've been seeing Tron, how he's grown so much. Yo, Tron is strong. Big boy. Yeah, but I'm feeling real grateful. I love myself. I didn't really have no question. I just wanted to talk.
Yeah, bro, put your music up for free, yo. Do what you do from the heart, man. Do not charge for you.
Right. Make sure you honor the source where you got the information from.
There's always show respect. Always honor the source.
Facts. And try to implement the message.
On time.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean,
guess what?
Every angle.
Hey, bro, the thing about it is, when I talked about this other day, but like when you transition, you know you're gonna be held accountable for everything you did, right? So imagine this, right? This is how sensitive it is. Imagine you put out a post on Facebook that's like, I'm depressed, I want to kill myself, and you being racist, and you just saying dumb shit at all online, right? When you transition, everybody that post affected, you're gonna be held accountable for. So if 20,000 people see that post, you're held accountable for that. You feel what I'm saying? Now on this frequency, you have to store your treasures in heaven. So imagine when you make music, instead of worrying about the money, imagine focusing on saving a soul. Imagine putting out some knowledge that'll spark somebody else. That's putting your deeds in heaven. You want to secure your afterlife. Don't worry about the bag of the material shit because this ain't real. What's going to matter is in the end is your soul. You get what I'm saying? So put that shit out for free and don't try to implement the message. Don't put out nothing that's talking about no dumb shit because you're going to be held accountable for that.
Right.
And this is being recorded, so you hearing this now. So if you put out anything from this point on that's dumb shit, your ass gonna get it. You feel what I'm saying? So don't do that shit.
Of course. I feel as if every lifetime we're just we are basically what you just said, as if everything that you're held accountable for here is as if all the spirits that you release from your sun in this time will be creating the temperature and the new sun for the next reality.
The next reality. Facts.
Precision.
It's kind of like a
it's a cause and effect.
regeneration, degeneration. Yeah.
It's karma.
Right, it's karma.
Hey, most honorable prophet Leo said go ahead and spit some bars.
Go spit some bars?
Right now, on the line.
I see that notepad. You got something right there?
Say something.
Alright, look. Listen very clear. Listen to my words. I move different, others call it odd word. I don't wait to be great, nigga. I drive first in the Benz, I escape. All the bitches holler, and I ain't really got the time for you, but I can do what I can do. But let me sing my fucking blues all night, all day, yeah. I don't really like to predict, but I really like to vindict all the beliefs that had me lit. But I don't really give a shit. I'm living a new day. I don't really care what you say. Hey, I don't really care. The album I'm releasing is music from the whole of 3 years ago.
Hey, let's acknowledge it. We got 4 artists right here. We got 4 artists. The combination music? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm definitely aware.
Put some knowledge up in there. That song right there.
I'm telling you.
Did you say you was going to get away in a
I'm here right now.
Did you say you was going to get away in a band?
I'm here right now in Babylon due to some karmic debt that I had to get over. And it has to be done here. I had to like set my foot and then. But that music that I just showed you is new stuff, and I have so much love and so much wisdom to just. I've been letting it go, but now it's being much more pinpointed and fun. We out here. And Leo already know what's up. I'm from New York, so he already know the energies.
That's what it is. Much love, brother. Hey,
much love.
I love myself.
You get the next laptop, bro.
No. He said hop in the bed. No. What did we just tell you? Damn.
Keep practicing your craft. Keep going. Oh, you look like Jay Curtis.
No, not. No.
Goofy out. How y'all living?
Good. There you go.
Feeling like the Irish stuff up in that bitch. What are y'all gonna drop a tape like a collective tape?
We might.
Are y'all about to drop a collective tape?
Are you like album mixtape?
Right now, I don't know. Probably in the future though.
Hey, who be mixing and mastering over there?
You already know that.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Okay, what y'all be using? Logic?
Yeah.
Mix on Logic.
Wait, what?
We mix on logic.
Yeah, logic. Hell yeah. That's what I'll be working on for too.
Well, that's what it is.
What?
Nah, go ahead.
Oh shit, no, I was just tapping in to see what's up with y'all, man.
Do you have a question about you got a question about anything that was said?
Shoot. Man, not really, man. I was just trying to tap in with y'all, let y'all know it's love over here. Alright, I'm tapping with y'all later, man. That's a fact. Alright, stay in. Peace, guys.
Peace, God. That's crazy. Niggas on logic. Right. What? I ain't peep that to the, like, I've been finding that thing. I'm checking the back. Yeah. I ain't see that to the,
I first heard these are subjective.
Hey, food is good.
You're piece of right. Guys. Yeah, question.
I wanted to ask y'all, man, because they got that Popeye chicken craze going on over here, and I already know it's coming from off there.
That damn technology, that's a fact.
And what's getting me is how we are so vibrated so low that we can't see it.
That's a fact.
What's y'all take on that, man? Like, how can we combat that type of blatant chemical attack on us without no type of resistance? You know what I'm saying? Like, we promoting it. Like, even all the celebrities and all of the, so-called leaders, they going to get their chicken settled, making sure they get it. So, you know what I'm saying? The ones that's going to be, you know what I mean? It's following behind them. So that was my question to you guys. Like, what's y'all take on that?
Well, you gotta leave that environment. Yeah. You got number one. You need to tap in the cheat. You need to tap into the to what we teach. Like, we got 1,000+ videos. We actually got a video addressing Popeyes directly, showing you how to figure out how DNA works. So if anybody ever wants to talk to you about mind control, you can literally explain to them with biology, actual irrefutable facts of how that is actual mind control. But deeper than that, deeper than having your knowledge is what is the movement? How do you make a change? You asking, what's the change? What move do I make? You need to leave that environment. It is winter right there. Your genes are being turned off. Popeye's chicken, not. You are somewhere where you ain't supposed to be. You are a melanated man. You're gonna have a vitamin D deficiency. You already do. You're supposed to be getting UVB sun rays. There's a number of reasons why you shouldn't be there. Not getting away from Popeye's chicken being one of them. You should be living in the tropics. Your food is here. All of your food is here in the tropics. This is where all the green is. This is where all the trees are. This is where all life is in the tropics. The reason why you eat chicken, the reason why people eat Popeye's chicken out there is because they're away from their food. And that's what their oppressor is eating to survive. When you should be thriving. So number one, get your ass to the tropics. Number two, this is real number one, is go study what we teach online. Go to Carbonation TV, watch the videos. Like, that's what you really need to do. Understand yourself. Understand how you are guided.
I'm gonna say something real quick, because I be trying to get people to understand stuff like simple, man. It's like we be so caught up in all this information that we think that our answers have to be in complicated form, right? You in your house or apartment or whatever right now, right? So I come to your house and be like, hey man, you got it's a toxic gas leaking in your room in your house right now. How long is it gonna take you to leave? Well, I mean, what you gonna do? Like, what you think? If I come to you and be like, sir, you have a toxic chemical leaking throughout your house, what you gonna do?
Honestly, I hear you, and I'm allowing myself to be distracted.
You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna leave the house, right? You're gonna leave the house.
Yeah.
So the same thing is happening to you on a macro scale. If there was a toxic chemical being flooded throughout your house, you would leave like that moment, that day. You would immediately do something about it. You wouldn't have to question. But the same thing is happening in your environment. From the GMO food is being flooded in your environment. Your water is being flooded with chlorine and fluoride. Your air is being polluted with chemtrails. Your sunlight and carbon. Your sunlight is not adequate. So everything in your environment is literally trying to destroy you. And I don't know why people act like it has to be something difficult, but if my environment is trying to destroy me, the greatest solution would be to leave. I'm not about to go talk to the corporation because I know the corporation is based upon profit and not my well-being. The corporation don't care about you. They care about money. You can die every day. Your children can die. Your children can be retarded. They can be whatever. And as long as I'm making money, I'm cool in that system. So don't even try to vote. Don't try to fight. Don't try to argue, because look at black people. If you want to go back into history, you're so in depth with what happened. Look at every movement and organization. We have already tried everything, bro. And the only conclusion that has been shown to black people thus far from anybody you can point out, any organization, is that you cannot survive, you cannot prosper and succeed in that environment. You think black people trying to be European is like a duck trying to be a tiger. It is not in your genetic makeup to do that. You get what I'm saying? The best thing we can do, simply put,
I want to add to that. Just one thing I wanted to say is the simple fact that a lot of people, they want to try to support that, but because they're in the system, a lot of the common thing that's going on with black people right now is we're trying to beat the system. We're trying to be like, oh, well, we're going to beat our oppressor, or we're going to be there, and we're going to, fight with guns and all that shit. One thing I want you to understand is that's not going to happen. First, you have to understand the guns you're trying to go against the system with is the one they gave you. They put the guns in the community, they put the drugs in the community. They did everything to, you gotta understand that. Like, everything that's happening right now is because of your oppressor put you, which is actually reflecting you, but on a deeper level. But you have to understand that they put all that stuff in there to experiment to see how you're going to react. Now you want to try to bring an uprising against. You've seen the uprisings in other countries. People trying to, Venezuela, you see all these people trying to go against the system. You see what happens every single time is get down and lay down. The Moors right now are trying to create, we're natural citizens and we're going to get a jurisdiction in certain areas in order for them to claim their natural citizenship and try to take a hold of a part of land. First, you can't own no land. And second, you can't beat the system because you're in the system. You have to understand that the system is going to self-destruct and destroy itself. The best thing that you can do is leave that environment, leave the system. It's literally like cancer to the body. And like cancer in the body, it destroys itself. The cells will destroy and self-destruct. So you have to understand what kind of cell you are in the body. It's all fractal, it's all symbolic. You have to understand what kind of cell you are in this earth body that you're living in. You should leave. That's the best thing you can do for yourself, brother. Don't try to stay there and fight all that shit. It's not going to work, bro. When martial law hits the streets, which it already has, it's going to be get down, lay down. They kick it indoors and they ask you questions. This is how it's going to be. So, best thing you can do for yourself is get you, people that think like you, and leave. That's for everybody. That's the best solution. Is leave the system. That's bad. I got one thing I want to say. Real quick. Basically, at this point, it's all about reprogramming your subconscious mind. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact that we're talking about the chicken sandwich, the most honorable prophet Leo Christ did a video talking about geoengineering in that video, and it's we don't have to be beat anymore like it's slavery. They're coming to control us from a way that is going to tamper with our subconscious, meaning that they're going to feed us food that has microRNA that's going to control our biology, that's going to control our behavior truly. This is how they're truly controlling us. They don't need to come up to us, get down, lay down, Nah. They're doing it through your food, through your music, through your water, through your sunlight, through all of that. So yes, the environment that you're in, you need to change that. And you're not going to change that unless you consciously make the effort to do that. Unless you really get up, make a change in your life, separate yourself from people, isolate, then reprogram your mind with the knowledge. With the knowledge. That's how you truly going to be able to get out that system. Because once you leave, you can leave America, but you can still have that Babylon programming with you. You feel what I'm saying? So you gotta give yourself the knowledge, all of that knowledge, and you have to eat. You have to eat like a true God. You feel what I'm saying? You have to reprogram your whole lifestyle. You feel what I'm saying? So that the chicken sandwich, that's just there to. That's,
Are you serious? That's what I'm saying. Chicken, right? Sandwich, bro. It's the chicken. It's the sandwich, bro. Can we keep moving?
I know Chief had to touch on that
Yeah, it's on YouTube. The truth about Popeyes. The truth about Popeyes? Yeah, I miss. I skipped over that. I've been supporting since last year. What was that? Y'all transformed me from last year. So I'm working on. Matter of fact, this month will make a year. I isolated myself last year for 5 months. Job, that's my career. You did? But I pulled back with the family. I given them one more chance. So that's where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? I got them out the city. I got them around more trees and grass. You know what I'm saying? I got them out the city. I put them in the suburbs. So became a little south. So that's where I'm at now. But it's my head is exploding. This ain't even enough. Honestly, I don't even think I can wait for them to catch up to what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't wait.
Yo, listen, Reflections, I'm lit. Like, I'm looking right at myself. When y'all first came on, I'm looking dead at myself. I can't see nothing else. That's where I'm at right now, just to, you know what I'm saying, keep it true with my reflection. I'm looking at y'all, and I gotta be honest with myself. I left my career. I ain't chasing no money no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm utilizing the money, you know what I'm saying, for what it's worth, you know what I'm saying, to get me my food. Straight vegan, right? You know what I'm saying? I haven't eaten no beef and pork for decades. But as far as like the chicken and fish, I left that alone for over a year now. You know what I'm saying? I've been going through the ups and downs, the valleys, you know what I mean? The music, that's all I've been I listened to that for like damn near 9 months, that's it. I ain't listening to nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm right there. I'm just that. I got that last, how would I say, distraction. You know what I'm saying? I just got a little boy right now, and I'm trying to get him to come with me, but it's hard. But I'm there. 5 sciences, I'm there.
I can tell.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to tap in with y'all, man. Now that I tapped in, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna continue tapping in, and I need to be fed. I need to be fed. I want to be fed. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else in there. It's like I can't breathe. It's like I'm a fish out of water. You know I'm at right now. So I went to Costa Rica. I've been there twice already this year. You know what I'm saying? The first time I let my hair free form, and I didn't wash my hair until I got it. Then I went back again. Took my lady there to see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Try to enlighten her. But I'm here right now, man. I love it. There's nothing else like this, man. And I know because I put together some things decades ago that you guys are just crystallizing. You know what I'm saying? With a blurry picture, now the shit is the HD. You know what I'm saying? Everything from the astrology, the grounding, the holographic universe, the melanin. You know what I'm saying? What was it? Astrology, melanin, grounding, biology, epigenetics, and the holographic universe. Physics. So I've been tapping into all 5 of the sciences. I've been studying what you guys have been giving me. I've been studying, you know what I'm saying? So when you look on one thing, you catch something else, Bruce Lipton, been following all of that, astrology, you know what I'm saying? Did my birth chart and all that. I went light, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to find that debilitation that's keeping me from jumping. You know what I'm saying? I need to get on top of that because that's my last.
natural environment closer to the sun. Natural and pure water, straight from the source as far as food and vegetables are concerned. Then you start to heal. You start to shut off those retarded genes, and you begin to activate that intelligence that was already there.
You're talking about epigenetics.
Epigenetics.
That are your environment.
Tell them about epigenetics, about how we are not restricted to the genes that we are activating in Babylon.
So check this out, right? You're not controlled by your genes. Epigenetics means above genetics. So that means what is controlling your genetics, right? This is your environment. Your environment. You receive signals. You have 5 senses. You can receive all kinds of signals. Everything is just electromagnetic. It's just signals. So the way that you perceive these signals and how you take these signals in, it will determine what kind of genes you turn on and off. If you're in a high stress environment, there are certain genes that are going to be turned off because you're not going to need those. You're busy surviving. You only need these basic few genes. So you're cutting off intelligence. All these different abilities that you have, all these different behaviors and things that you could be playing out in this environment, they're of no use. So you don't use them. For example, you leave the tropics. You get away from the sun, melanin starts to leave. You no longer need melanin. So it turns that gene off. When we know that melanin is how we connect to the universe. So if you're in an environment you don't belong in, you're in an environment away from the sun, epigenetics says, okay, I don't need this melanin gene, so let me turn that off. And so now you got blonde hair, blue eye, very light skin. And this is a person who's going to be able to connect to the universe less, way less. This is actually, this is a mutation, it's an adaptation. Doesn't mean it's good. This person is actually semi-retarded. They're not able to receive as much information as they could. They're capped. They're capped because of epigenetics. So if this person was to move to the tropics, you live closer to the sun, when the sun hits you, that UVB sunlight hits your skin, it's going to tell your genes. The environment is going to tell you, okay, we need that melanin gene. Turn that shit back on. Turn this back on. And as you have children, or as you evolve, you're actually going to gain more melanin. You're actually going to activate dormant genes by living in your natural environment. You're going to be who you were supposed to be 100%. You are not even who you are supposed to be right now because of where you are at. Because your environment is artificial. Because you're in an artificial environment, you are an artificial organism. You are a genetically modified organism. Just from your environment. I don't care if you put it in your mouth. Look at where you're at. You're in a zoo. You're in a simulated environment. So you are literally just a test rat. However, if you were in your natural environment like us, you would be tapping into the original, the truth. You would be tapping into the most original part of yourself, the best version of yourself. It is not possible to be in your higher self in Babylon. It is not possible. You must be in your natural environment.
So I wanted to add to that.
Okay.
I wanted to add to that. Because as you were saying, you're a byproduct of your environment. You're a byproduct of the system, right? As Tupac said, we're America's babies. So you're a byproduct of that. When you come to nature, when you come to this environment, I wanted to give y'all, because I feel like a lot of times we give knowledge, but I want y'all from a personal perspective, from my own universe. I want to show you, I want to tell you things that I've experienced since being here. Since being in the tropics, what the most honorable prophet, Leo Christ, has brought the information. Since being here, my cognitive functions of the brain has induced, I literally can think better. I remember in times in Babylon where my attention span was so short where I couldn't focus. I was not focused. I didn't have enough oxygen that was even getting to my brain to even think properly. So my decision making was wrong. You know, so there's a lot of things that that are just subconsciously playing out that we don't realize that our environment is affecting us to a point where we're actually underdeveloped mentally. You understand what I'm saying? So that has to do with the brain and firing neurons within the brain and being able to think properly and just the well-being. I look the best that I've ever looked in my entire life. My vitality, all of us, my vitality, everything. This is something that's very important because oftentimes we talk about the tropics. We want to talk about what it's done for us and what, even the knowledge. You know what I mean? Being here with the most honorable prophet, Christ, being here, having